Markets are getting absolutely destroyed today. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions, and we're here to talk about why, but also how things can actually quickly change. What's going on, guys? So let's go ahead and jump right into it. NASDAQ market is down about 1.7% on the day. Consistent descending pattern for now. But some news later on today can actually cause a very quick shift in causing markets to possibly recover if the market reacts in a positive way. And what do we mean by this? The biggest thing is there should be a big rebound based off of the federal government's reopening. For those that have not been hearing the news, yes, supposedly by today or hopefully this weekend, our government is supposed to reopen just because it's in the midst of pretty much like airports being fully shut down. So it's gotten to the point where, again, we're at one of the longest government shutdowns in history. Now they're looking for any and every reason to just go ahead and reopening it. And I want to remind you that if they do, how do you think the markets will react? Well, obviously, it makes sense that markets might react in a positive way, although that when the government shutdown was announced, it's not that markets even sold off. I mean, they did during the extended hours, but quickly recovered during normal trading hours. So we'll see. I don't know if you guys have been noticing, but there's been a change in recent market sentiment, right? Markets have been more bearish for the past week than bullish. This has been very new because anything and everything was causing markets to aggressively push up. A lot of these tech companies were reporting better than expected earnings, yet markets were still selling off. I think the market's just gotten very exhausted. But we all know how irrational the markets are. You guys know that I love shorting the market, right? My LPP team, they watch me short the market every single day. But during moments like this, where we've recently pulled on back, where they're looking for news to get factored in to possibly cause the market to rebound, please be very careful with your shorts. This is why I don't carry shorts overnight. I take shorts, I get in, I get out, I make my money, and I bounce, right? Because we know how bullish the markets are. So this is a good reminder to all those out there that have open shorts. If you want to continue to hold, be my guest, you're an adult, you can do whatever it is that you want. I just do want to make you aware that if this news does get announced and the markets digest it in a positive way, markets can quickly recover, especially going into next week. Just wanted to make sure that you were aware. The second thing is, I don't know if this is good news or bad news, but President Trump confirms that if the Supreme Court strikes down on tariffs, America will have to give back trillions. That's not necessarily true, but we haven't even truly taken in trillions. But European Union, 950 billion, Japan, 650 billion, South Korea, 350 billion. Do the right thing is what Trump says. We haven't actually collected this money, so it's not that we have to give it back. We have collected hundreds of millions, but we have not collected trillions of dollars. So that's a false statement, but this is a ruling that's supposed to get decided on relatively pretty soon. So it's going to be interesting on how markets react based off of this, because think about this. The downturn that we experienced earlier this year, the very sharp recovery, the volatility, a lot of it's all been due to tariffs. And now to find out that tariffs can ultimately just end up getting removed and it was all for no reason, almost seems like a waste of time and a waste of effort. That being said, I wanted to highlight some things that could be causing the markets, to be turning down today. We talked about Trump's tariffs possibly getting overturned, government shutdown being ready, to open, but also it's because, again, they are thinking about shutting down entire airports, which is not good. Jensen said that China beat the United States in AI, not the best headlines for semi. And then worst October for layoffs since 2003. The labor market fear potentially is getting worse. This is, like the uncertainty of layoffs and the weakening of the labor market. I want to remind you that, it might encourage the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates a little bit more aggressively because, they need to focus on a strong labor market and low inflation. But at the end of the day, what is lower interest rates going to do for, jobs that are getting replaced with AI, right? I don't think much, but that's just my opinion. You guys let me know down in the comments section what you think. With that being said, again, an incredibly bearish day. Everything is selling off. All the meme stocks are selling off much more aggressive. I'm very happy to see that there's been really strong retracements with a lot of these overhyped up stocks. Irene being one of them, QBTS. What's another one? We have it here. Where is it? Let me pull it up. Oklo has seen a beautiful retracement. I think Oklo has seen nearly a 50% retracement. I remember when I was making videos about this when it was at all-time highs, I was like, hey, these companies are bullshit companies. They're all pre-revenue. They all lose a ton of money, millions of dollars every single year. And everyone's like, Ricky, you just don't understand the technology. Again, it's very simple. This happens all the time. I've been doing this even publicly for 10 years. People always will say that, no, you just don't understand something when irrational valuations are being factored in. But guess what? Irrational valuations are only supported during irrational markets. As soon as reality begins to get checked in, right? Moments like this happen and people lose 50%, if not more, based off of how leveraged it is that they are. So again, please be mindful at overbought levels. It's a very simple saying. Be greedy when others are fearful. Be fearful when others are greedy. And obviously, there's been extreme signs of extreme greed. I mean, MSTR is an amazing example. Again, I'm not saying that this is a good short anymore because it's incredibly oversold, but we've talked about MSTR being a bullshit company. And again, I wanted to show you guys the highlight. In the past 12 months, it's lost 7%. Past 3 months, it's lost 37%. MSTR might be one of the worst investments in the market. This is during a bull run. Now wait for the bear market. Just imagine this is its performance during a bull market. Imagine how terrible it's going to be during a bear market. Remember, this is the one I've been capturing since it pushed up to highs of $500, right? Where are all the crypto bros now? Nowhere to be heard, nowhere to be found. They're not telling you to buy the dip anymore. That's weird. Did they run out of money too? It's always the over leveraged traders that don't know how to prepare for these pullbacks. They become too leveraged at overbought levels. And then when markets retrace, they get margin called, liquidated, and they have no more money to buy the dip. Remember, you should never be scared to take advantage of opportunities that you see value in, but never do it with borrowed funds. Leverage is a terrible thing when direction turns against you. And again, we talk about these principles all the time within my LPP team. I trade live with them every single day. I'm not here to say that I'm the best at what it is that I do, but I'm consistent and I always look out for beginners. You guys know that if you've watched any of my videos. So again, if risk management is ever something that you want to focus on because you want to be more calculated with the trades you take, I would encourage you to check out the second link in the description down below, and you can start watching me trade live as soon as Monday once the market opens. Appreciate your time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.